Hi, everybody. It's Mary Pat Knight. One of the most requested topics of training in both the Humanized Leader virtual course and live course is the drama triangle. I'd like to invite you to take a sneak peek into the drama triangle and see if you could apply those principles to your life and to your business right away. So please join me to a training that's already in progress, that's part of the online course, and enjoy the topic of the drama triangle. I hope you find it super useful. Stay tuned.
And that's what we're going to talk about now. The reaction that you have experienced either on the edge of your comfort zone or in the trigger creates the drama triangle. It's the reaction. If you can stop the reaction and move to response, you're likely not to end up here that often. However, the reaction does create the drama triangle. And in the drama triangle, there are three clear characters that show up. This comes from Stephen Karpman's transactional analysis from the early 1970s, and my guess is that this concept was in play long before that as well. So, the triangle is comprised of the villain, the victim, and the hero. The shortcut to this is the villain is the critical bully. This is the person who finds the problem and points the finger at you. This is the person who finds the defect and wants you to pay for the defect. So they use blame and shame to point the finger of the problem at you, and in doing so, fail to take any accountability or ownership of either their contribution to the problem or their ability to collaborate to solve the problem. You end up with someone in that power play. They're using positional power or the power of being able to find the problem to actually have it over on you. That's what the villain does. And the villain is always on the hunt for the victim. The victim has a worldview of being powerless and helpless and hopeless. So of course it makes sense that they're going to find a villain to reinforce that worldview. And the villain looks for the victim to pick on. It's an easy target. The victim, you'll know that you're with a victim because they say things like, I'm not lucky. Don't ask me to do that. I don't know how. It's not my job. You haven't trained me enough. I don't have enough information. Oh no, I don't know how to do that. And then they'll start to make excuses. And then ultimately they may be gossiping with those around them. They look for other victims to reinforce a worldview, and they start to feel very entitled in their helplessness and hopelessness, in the hopes and the certainty that someone will come rescue them. They want to feel safe, and in doing so, they create a worldview that keeps getting reinforced over and over and over again by telling the same story of helplessness, hopelessness, and powerlessness. Now, I'm giving you the gross examples. I will tell you that this is very nuanced. You might be driving along in traffic and throw your hands up in the air and saying, why is traffic moving so slow? That's victim energy. Just be aware of that. The victim is on the hunt for this next character, but the next character is really on the hunt for the victim, and that is the character of hero. The hero, in their non-leader behavior, wants to fix everything and wants to save the day, whether the day needs to be saved or not. So they will swoop in, they will see the issues, they'll hear the villain's problem, they're going to fix it, fix it, fix it, solve it, solve it, solve it, and along the way look for the poor helpless victim to pat them on the head and take care of them. They are all things to all people all the time. So the hero kind of is the glue that keeps the villain and the victim going. And there's a real issue with the hero. Their desire is to be of service, which is good. Their desire for recognition for their service is what tips them over into the dysfunctional behavior. So you have the villain, the victim, and the hero. And I guess right now, just give yourself a little quiz, a little self-quiz. When you're triggered, what are you? Are you a villain, a victim, or a hero? You may be all three. And of course you're all three, and you can go around the bases with all three. Most of the people I know gravitate towards being a hero. I think it's just because it sounds better. But if you voted for hero, I need to let you know it's kind of the worst one. Yes, it's kind of the worst one. No, it is the worst one. Because here's what happens with the hero. The hero keeps the villain and victim in their dance with each other. Because the hero will go and speak for the villain to other people, interpret what the villain has said in a more noble way, and they will go to the victim and pat them on the head and keep them small and helpless because that reinforces their view of being of service. And all along the way, what the hero does is it robs the organization of critical thinking and problem solving. Because if you're always doing all the things for all the people, how are they going to do all the things for themselves? So there is a way out. We're going to fast track you out of the drama triangle. And it comes with an equation called E plus R equals O. E plus R equals O. I first learned this from Jack Canfield, who I believe learned it from somebody else. But E plus R equals O is how you move from reaction to response. So let's look at the equation. E stands for event. Things happen. Something has happened. O stands for the outcome that you get, which is totally predicated on how you manage your R. And the R is, are you going to react or respond? And if you react, you might get an outcome that's not favorable to you. If you respond, you generally get an outcome that is favorable to you. So E plus R equals O is your fast track out of the drama triangle, and that's what you'll practice moving forward from here. So let's also take a look at another component once E plus R equals O is in play, is that you also have the ability to transform drama to leadership. So I mentioned that the villain has a secret power of being able to see the problem, and the victim has a secret power of being able to tell a story, and the hero has a secret power of being of service and knowing how to do all of the things. So by using coaching and a well-placed open-ended question, you actually can support and coach the villain to know how it's possible to be a quality control person. You know, the victim can be coached to be a creator of a new story, and the hero can be coached to coach. And you do this by asking open-ended questions. So I just fast-tracked you through the way to diminish drama in your life and in your work environment and in your life environment. And here are 3 takeaways for you to move forward with. Part of the leader's job is the emotionally intelligent management of change. And so embrace that for yourself and for the other. E plus R equals O. Pay attention to the R. Evaluate. Are you responding or are you reacting? And then ask a transformational question. What could be possible if, and for the villain, I offered a solution? Or insert your favorite question. What could be possible for a victim is if I took one small action? What could be possible as a hero if I didn't fix it for them? And so this is the way for you to fast track yourself to diminishing the drama. You're going to understand comfort zone. You're going to understand that you're triggered. You're going to understand that you end up in the drama triangle. You're going to practice E plus R equals O, and then you're going to ask the transformational question so that everyone can transform into the humanized leader they are meant to be.
Well, I hope that was of high value to you. I hope you see where you go when you lose your leadership consciousness and you're triggered. I hope you see where you go into the triangle, and I hope that you see where other people on your team go. And now you can meet that with compassion. When compassion meets drama, it starts to dissipate. And this is just one small part of the learning that I offer to my team. And many of you already know this because you've been following me for some time.